Hello, my dear friends. I'm live now. Will you be able to hear me and see me properly? Okay, let me wait for few minutes to join someone and do let me know. Will you be able to hear me? My audio video is clear. Okay. Okay, so I believe it's live now. Okay, perfect. Okay, Aman Kumar. Okay, will you be able to hear me properly? My audio video is coming. I'm audible to you. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Hi, sir. Audio is clear. So, first of all, thank you so much for having this interactive session with me. Thanks a lot. And I would like to personally thank all of you from the bottom of my heart because I'm going to now reach very soon 50,000 subscribers over the YouTube. So I would like to personally thank all my YouTube subscribers, okay, for actually giving me this platform, this opportunity. Today, particularly, I'm going to discuss one of the most important topics in Vedic astrology, okay. Even if you are a beginner in Vedic astrology, you are familiar with your Rashi chart, okay. That is the D1 chart in Vedic astrology. Now, many of you are also familiar with the divisional charts, okay, specifically D9 chart, D10, D12, D60. So these are the divisional charts. Many of you are even familiar with your moon chart and even your sun chart also. There are like Sudarshan chakras also. So in Vedic astrology, there are different charts. But today I'm going to understand or help you to understand what is actually Bhava chart in Vedic astrology. And I'm going to also clear some of the misconceptions which is particularly connected with this Bhava chart and how you can actually use a Bhava chart from the predictive astrology standpoint of view. Like what is the difference between the planets that are actually posited into the just D1 chart or the Rashi chart, and what is the difference if the planets are actually going or moving or shifting in the Bhava chart. From the predictive astrology standpoint of view, I will tell you predictions are going to differ from the D1 to the D9 chart. And predictions are also going to differ if you are going to study D1 and the Bhava Chalit chart specifically. Now, the first main misconception is like, is it okay to read independently Bhava Chalit chart? Because in the divisional charts, it's necessary to take D1 chart into consideration. Yes, I will tell you it's completely normal for you to analyze the Bhava Chalit chart because this is the chart which will specifically used for finding out the exact location of the planets, okay. And I'm talking about the house placement here, okay. I'm not talking about a Rashi placement. In order for you to check Rashi, you need to go into the D1 chart. But if you want to go into the house to house concept or the house placement, then this chart is going to play a very important role. With the help of few examples, I'm going to actually help you to understand how to use this chart in a better way and how to I've like made some notes also so that at least I can cover up each and everything and you cannot miss out any of the update from that part, okay. So the first main point I've cleared you. Yes, you can use the Bhava Chalit chart irrespective of the D1 chart also. Although D1 chart is very important, I'm not denying the fact. But if you directly want to go into the Bhava chart, you can definitely go into that chart also, okay. Now, in the Bhava chart, suppose let me give you a few examples so that you can understand that part more accurately. Suppose you are Libra ascendant and Venus is actually posited in the first house in the sign of Libra. In the Rashi chart, okay, so Venus is in your Libra. But suppose in the Bhava chart, Venus is actually shifting towards the second house, okay. Now, how to study the results actually? Like Venus in the sign of Libra is going to give some different result or Venus shifting into the second house of Bhava chart is going to give different result, or how to study that part. You can simply study the results of both of these things. Venus in the sign of Libra also, and you also need to study the planet that is actually shifting towards the second house. Here Venus is also capable enough to bring results from the second house as well. The predictions are actually going to get more and more detailed oriented if you are going to analyze Bhava chart from the planetary conjunction standpoint of view, and that is actually the main topic here, okay? Because many knows how to study the normal Bhava chart, but when it comes to planetary conjunctions also, how you can actually study this chart. Now basically, if you are also learning Vedic astrology, you will find few charts that are going to have 3, 4, 5, 6 planetary conjunctions, okay, even more than 6 also. Now when the 4, 5 or 6 planets and even the 3 planets, if they are conjunct in one single house, or suppose there are 6 planets posited in your third house in the chart, now it become very confusing actually how to give predictions if most of the planets are actually concentrated over the third house. So how to decode it? Now the very first step, if there are more than 3, 4 or 5 planetary conjunctions in the horoscope, that is where we need to go into the Bhava chart, because Bhava chart will eventually show us the exact movement of the planet. Now for example, out of that 6 planets, maybe 2 planets are shifting in the second house and 2 planets are moving into the fourth house, okay? Now you understand the planets that are actually going to break. So here what we are doing, we are actually breaking apart in the small pieces. Because in order to study the conjunction, you need to break it. The more and more you are going to break the conjunction into more minute angle, more you will be able to study that part. Now, you see whenever the 4, 5, 6 planetary conjunctions are there in the chart, it becomes very difficult for you to give predictions actually. Because planets are so tightly conjunct up there, even from the degree standpoint of view, it's not possible for them to separate these planets and look them from some different perspective. And that is where the first use of Bhava chart is going to come into play. Because in order to study these complications or these complicated charts, you need to understand the Bhava chart first of all. And then if, for example, out of that 6 planets in the third house, 2 are moving into the second and 2 are shifting into the third house. So it becomes very easy for you now to understand from the prediction standpoint of view. Otherwise, if you are just going to look into the D1 chart and then you are you want to make some predictions, it becomes a bit difficult. So that is the main importance or the main use of the Bhava chart. Even second important thing is connected with the Raj Yogas in the Bhava Chalit chart also. Now there are different kind of yogas in Vedic astrology. Lakshmi yoga, wealth giving yogas, certain Raj yoga, Parivartan yoga, Vipreet Raj yoga, Gaj Kesari yoga, Kendram dosha or yoga. So there are different kind of yogas in Vedic astrology. Now this Bhava Chalit chart is also help you to study these yogas specifically. For example, your second house lord is shifting or going in the 12th house actually. So second house is your savings account and the savings lord is going in the 12th house of expenditure. It means your chart is not permitting you to save huge amount of money, okay? Now, if in the Bhava chart, suppose that planet from the 12th is shifting into the 11th house, so this is actually becoming a Lakshmi yoga. Lakshmi yoga simply means the wealth giving yoga. So you see from the predictability standpoint of view how the predictions are going to differ. Here in one case, your savings account is going in the house of expense. It means your chart is not permitting you to save huge amount of money. On the other hand, if the second house lord is going in the 11th house, this is creating a Dhan yoga or it's a Lakshmi yoga. So you understand the importance of this yoga. In this way, you will be able to relate to most of the predictions also. Suppose seventh house lord, that is the house of your marriage, its lord is suppose going into the ninth house. Now ninth house is the house of belief system, long distance travel, long distance journeys also. This combination most of the time is also going to create the combinations of marrying outside of your caste, creed, community, your own cultural background. Okay. Now suppose this yoga, seventh house lord in the ninth is present in the Rashi chart, in the D1 chart actually. But still the predictions are not fructifying according to this combination. So what is the problem actually? If there are certain combinations present in the chart or certain yogas, if they are present in the chart, it means these yogas must need to manifest also. And that is where the Bhava Chalit chart is going to show you, like that planet from the 7th is not going into the 9th house, it's actually shifting towards the 8th house axis. So then 7th lord is going in the 8th is not helping you to make the predictions. And that is where most of the beginners that are in the field of Vedic astrology, they tend to misconfuse this part from the predictive standpoint of view. Because Vedic astrology work as a whole system, it's a complete system, okay? Don't try to study it on the independent basis. Don't just look like, okay, my D1 chart. If you are a beginner, I request you to stick to D1 chart initially. There is no need for you to move into the divisional charts as of now. Just try to learn houses, planets, or simply the zodiac signs also. These are the basics of Vedic astrology. But if in case the predictions are not matching actually, or if there are more planetary conjunctions are up there and you want to study that part, then this Bhava chart is going to play a very important role. Okay. Next, now let me come to the next main point that I would like to discuss with you. Yes, degrees. Now, from the degree standpoint of view, one Rashi or one zodiac sign is of actually 30 degree, okay? Now, suppose there are planets that are actually posited in the 0 degree, 1 degree, or maybe in the last degrees, 28, 29 degree. So there are highly likely chances, first of all, okay, like these planets are going to make its move into the Bhava Chalit chart. I'm not going to go into the technical calculations as of now, like you need to add 15 degree in the lagnas and then subtract the 15. I will not go into the detail of the mathematical part, but I'm just helping you to understand there are two scenarios in this degree wise also. If you are looking into the Bhava chart, first is going to be at planet that are going to be at very close degrees. Maybe Jupiter and Mercury are conjunct in the horoscope. Jupiter is at 14 degree and Mercury may be at 17 degree. So don't think like that this Jupiter and Mercury, they are very closely conjunct. Although from the Rashi chart perspective, if Jupiter and Mercury, they are conjunct in one single house actually, one is at 14 and one is at 17 degree. So we are going to consider it as a very tight conjunction, okay? But as soon as you move into the Bhava Chalit chart, then you will be able to understand. Because I will tell you these planets are also going to separate. That part also depending over the Lagna degree, ascendant degree actually, but suppose this conjunction is happening into the 11th house. So there are chances this conjunction is also going to separate. So it's not only the planets that are at 29 degree or 0 degree or 1 degree, only they are going to make its move. Okay. And the next important point also, okay, what about the mutual aspects from the Bhava Chalit chart? Need to block who keep posting the same. Okay. What about the mutual aspects in the Bhava Chalit chart? See, first of all, I will tell you, aspects in Vedic astrology is applicable to Rashi chart, okay? As far as the ancient Vedic astrology texts are concerned, you will not hear about aspects into the Bhava Chalit chart, okay? The aspects or the drishti in Vedic astrology is only going to be considered specifically in the D1 chart. So I even request you, even this thing might going to differ. Okay, there are chances. I'm not saying, I'm not denying this thing, because over the passage of time, Vedic astrology have also evolved actually. You will see a lot of evolution happened in this field, in the field of Vedic astrology. As soon as the universe is expanding, so astrology is also expanding. Now it's not only limited to 3, 4 or 5 professions. There are like millions of profession nowadays, specifically with coming AI, robotics, machine learning. So professions are also going to be getting, so in this way, the Vedic astrology is also going to expand. But as of now, the aspects are applicable only to the Rashi chart, that is the D1 chart. Please don't consider aspects into the Bhava Chalit chart. I hope you understand this point. Anurag ji have asked me regarding the mutual aspects also. Although one thing I tell you, there are going to be some like misconceptions up there. Few astrologers might going to believe it, like the aspects are also going to work. I'm not denying that fact actually, but as per my knowledge, okay, now I'm not saying I'm PhD in Vedic astrology, but as per my knowledge, I'm telling you these specifically the drishti, they are applicable only to the D1 chart also. Okay, does sign change in Bhava chart or only house change considered? That is also a very interesting question actually. Now I made one video, I believe 2.5 or 3 years ago over this same part. Many people have commented like, because in that video I made that point also. If the planets are actually moving or shifting, maybe let me take the same example. Venus is posited in the sign of Libra, and now Venus is moving into the second house. Okay, so in the second house, it means the sign of Scorpio is going to be there. Yes, I will tell you, if Venus is moving into the second house, so the result of sign of Scorpio is also going to be applicable. I have seen these things in many charts actually. Now I'm not asking you to like stick to that part. You can do your own research. I'm not denying that fact, because I've already made that video 2-3 years ago. Okay, like if the planets are actually moving, so if they are shifting their houses, okay, so if you are shifting the house of some planet, it means there is going to be some Rashi also going to be present up there. Although from the Rashi we need to look into the D1 chart, I'm not denying that fact. But in the Bhava Chalit chart also, if for example some planet is shifting maybe first to second, fourth to the fifth house also, so we are going to consider the zodiac sign energy also, because planets must need to digest with some energy. If you even practically want to understand, like not from the house to house concept basis, look into the sky actually. So there are like 12 zodiac signs in Vedic astrology, and there are nakshatras also, each zodiac sign having 2.5 to 3 nakshatras present up there. So if the planets are continuously moving, they are not stationary. First of all, no planet is stationary in Vedic astrology. They are moving, they are rotating actually. Your date of birth, time of birth and place of birth is just going to be a snapshot. Okay, if the person is born on maybe 13th April 2022 at 7:56 p.m. maybe in Michigan, USA. Okay, so that is actually the snapshot. You were born during that time frame. But planets are not stationary, they are moving. So that is why they are actually moving into the Chalit chart also. You need to understand how this concept is actually evolved in Vedic astrology. You understand the concepts of divisional charts, okay? It's very easy for you to understand from the calculation standpoint of view. But if you look at from the theoretical angle, specifically this Bhava chart, you need to have some strong justification in that Chalit Chakra also. Because I will tell you in my personal observations, by looking into more than like 17,000 charts, as of now I'm telling you, the Rashi in the Bhava Chalit chart, if the planets are moving and shifting, so they are moving into the houses, but they are going to absorb the energy of the Rashi also. Okay. D1 or Chalit chart, which is more effective for a planet? I will tell you both of these charts are effective. But in the Bhava Chalit chart, if you want to study the results, try to study it in a Gandanta, just like Gandanta mean in the line of both houses. like if any planet is moving from the second house to the third house, so I request you to try to study the results not only in the second or third, in between the line which is happening up there, because that planet is not actually in the second and not actually in the third, they are in between the line actually. I will tell you, my father is a Vedic astrologer. I have long conversation with him specifically over that part also, and that method taught to me by my father also. So my father simply told me, because in the initial stages of Vedic astrology, at the time when I'm actually learning what is Bhava chart, so I'm also having a gazillion, like multiple questions in my mind actually. So that is why the simplest way to read it is to read in between the line actually. So if the planet is moving from second to third, you will not consider second, not consider third, the line in between. So that is Gandanta actually. So planet is capable enough to give the results of both of the houses. Okay. Thank you for your teaching, sir. In the Bhava chart, Saturn becomes conjunct with Moon in the 5th house. In that, even Moon is in the 4th house in Virgo. Okay, I am in Saturn Mahadasha. Can you explain the difference? Okay, that part have gone actually. See, first of all, I will tell you, if Saturn and Moon, they are actually getting conjunct in the 5th house, and Moon is shifting from the 4th to the 5th house, you need to study Moon result independently into the 4th and independently into the 5th house also. Okay. Hello, Radhe Radha. Radha Radha. Okay, Radha Radha. Sir, can you make a video over the Gulika and Mandi? I will make that separate actually. Gulika and Mandi is a different concept in Vedic astrology. So maybe next time I'm going to make that part in that part also. Okay. So, okay. Sun at 29 degrees Aries when Rahu. Okay. You also need to understand one more important thing, specifically with regards to axis, Rahu and Ketu axis. Okay. Now, don't think like that Rahu and Ketu axis, they are not going to move or change its position in the Bhava chart. They also going to change actually. It's not necessary. It's applicable to all the 9 planets. Okay. In Vedic astrology, we consider from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday up till Saturday. So all the 7 planets, including Rahu and Ketu axis also. So you definitely need to take a Rahu and Ketu axis into consideration also. Okay. It's not like that you are not applying this to the Rahu and Ketu axis, because I will tell you, when it comes to the conjunction standpoint of view, suppose Rahu is sitting all alone in your 6th house and some planet from the 5th is moving into the 6th house. So that planet is going to be in conjunction with Rahu. So that planet is going to absorb the conjunction. So you need to study it from the conjunction standpoint of view. So it's not all alone actually. Which Ayanamsha? See, Lahari Ayanamsha is one of the best Ayanamshas as far as I'm currently using, and even my father is also practicing. So Lahari Ayanamsha is the best actually. Okay, Saturn in Capricorn. Okay, how to predict the 5 planetary conjunction in the 6th house? But does it mean, I will tell you, if the simplest rule I'm telling you, if more than 4 or 5 planets, they are conjunct in one single house, this will going to create a congestion in the horoscope. By mean to say congestion, suppose you are sitting in one room and that room is capable to handle only 5 individuals, and you are forcing 50 individuals to live in that small room. So what you are trying to do, you are actually forcing or trying to concentrate all that energy up there. Similarly with the planetary conjunctions where 4, 5 or 6 planets are conjunct in one single house, this will create congestion in the horoscope. Now what does congestion mean? What is going to happen if the room which is made for 5 people occupancy and you are like putting 50 people up there, what is going to happen? You ask yourself this question, what is going to happen? This is going to create congestion, and because of that congestion, what is happening? You feel suffocated. I'm not talking about suffocation because of lack of oxygen, no. It's the internal suffocation. So you are going to feel internally suffocated from that particular area. Irrespective whichever house that is going, so you will feel that suffocation in that particular area. If these planets are in the second house, family is going to create that suffocation inside you. So it's very important for you to study that part in that way also. Okay. If the congestion happens in Lagna, it's not considered good actually. Specifically the malefics like Saturn, Mars, Sun, Rahu and even Ketu. If there are 2 or 3 malefics that are coming in the ascendant, and then they are conjunct with maybe 2 benefics, or 5 planets are in the first house and they are going to create congestion, these have the capacity to create brain related problems inside a person. I've seen in many charts, Sun Saturn conjunction in the first, it's not good actually. Mars Saturn conjunction, it's not good. So, but I will tell you once again, look into the Bhava Chalit chart. That is where the answer is going to be. Maybe from the Lagna, congestion is breaking, planet shifting towards the 12th house. So this is going to create the combination of foreign travel, foreign settlement, maybe in the second house of resources. So you can do that predictability from that standpoint of view. Okay. 4 planets in the 11th house. See, more the planets in the 11th house, more the capacity of a native is going to be on huge resources and wealth in their life. If there are 3 planets in the 11th house, it shows you have the capacity to cultivate or have 3 income sources in your life. Don't worry if you are right now you are not having that income sources. Don't think like that the prediction I'm giving you, it's not going to match. I will tell you 100% this prediction is going to match. The planetary dasha and the activation of Raj Yoga is going to play a very important role. More the planets in the 11th house, the more income sources are going to be there. If for example more planets are going into the second house, okay, now again thank you. Okay, Reshav Singh have sent me a super thanks. Oh wow, okay, you can send me super thanks also, don't worry. Thank you so much. So let me come back to the original topic once again. So the more and more planets, suppose they are conjunct in the money and wealth houses, maybe in the 11th house or in the second house. So it shows the wealth potential. Second house is the house of your resources actually. It means you have the capacity to have more and more resources into your life. More the planets in the second house, more you are capable of having the resources. But I will tell you sometime, these resources can also create suffocation inside a person. Because I told you, the main siddhant or the main concept of more than 3, 4, 5 planets or even 6 planets, if they are conjunct in one single house, they will create congestion and they create suffocation. So don't think like that if I'm having 4 planets in the second house, I'm going to become millionaire. Yes, you are going to become millionaire, but still you will need to learn the art of attachment and detachment. Otherwise, the resources are going to restrict you. They are going to restrict your potential also. Suppose there are Sun in the second house, Moon in the second house, Mercury in the second house, Mars in the second house. It shows resources. These are the resources which you are going to gain into your life. It may be because of your father, mother, because of the family. So in order to look after all that resources, you will not be able to grow. And that is where we still need to give more importance towards the ascendant of a person. Lagna is you, that is your self-efforts actually. So it's very important. I don't have a job. May God bless you. Okay. Everyone, please pray for Shankar to have his first job also. Okay. Should one consider conjunctions in the Bhava chart too? Yes, definitely. I told you, you need to consider conjunctions also. If the planets are moving, they are conjunct. If Saturn is in your 4th and Rahu is in the 5th, and if for example Saturn is moving from 4th to 5th, it's becoming Saturn and Rahu conjunction. So the result of Saturn and Rahu is going to be applicable as per your chart. Okay, so do study that part. Venus Mercury in the 9th house is the greatest blessings, but this is very problematic conjunction from the marriage and relationship standpoint of view. Venus and Mercury in the 9th, it's not a good conjunction. Okay, from the marriage, okay, from the money wealth perspective, it's a good conjunction. Please explain to me 10th house Lord. Okay, it's moving very fast. Good evening, thanks for the video. Okay. Even one more thing I would like to add on here. Yogas actually. Yes, Parivartan Yoga. I made recently one video 2, 3, 4 days ago over the Parivartan Yoga. Please watch that video. In that video also I have actually discussed about the Bhava Chalit chart. Because specifically I'm telling you, Parivartan Yoga is the exchange of planets, exchange of zodiac signs actually. So they are going to exchange their rashis. Suppose Sun and Venus are creating a Parivartan Yoga. Sun is going in the sign of maybe Libra and Venus is going in the sign of Leo. So this is a Parivartan Yoga. Whereas for example in the Rashi chart Sun is going in Virgo. But in the Bhava Chalit chart Sun is shifting in the next house. So yes, we need to consider the yogas into the Bhava Chalit chart also. I have seen practically many charts, okay, inside my family also, my personal colleagues also. The Parivartan yogas that are present in the Bhava Chalit chart are equally powerful as that of the Parivartan yoga or any yoga forming in the D1 chart. So it's the most important chart of Vedic astrology. I will tell you at the time of giving the predictions in the ancient times actually regarding the thank you so much Reshabh ji for actually sending me again super thanks. Let's celebrate 5th super thank. I don't know how this is working, but okay. Let me come back to the topic once again. In the ancient times, as I'm telling you, suppose someone is trying to make some death predictions actually, okay. Now understand one very important thing here. Death predictions in Vedic astrology, usually it's the topic which many considered as a it's not good, it's a negative part actually. And many people are nowadays, they are running away from the negative side of Vedic astrology. Whereas I'm a very blunt person, I'm very brutal. If you have taken consultations from me, you know my nature, like I will cover both positive and the negative aspects. Because the use of Vedic astrology is to gain clarity inside you, okay. Now for example, your D1 chart is creating the combinations of Alpayu. Alpayu mean you are not going to live a long life. But it's very important for you to, if before giving the prediction, like you are going to have not a long span, please without checking the Bhava chart, don't give this prediction. Because I told you Bhava chart will have the capacity to gain power over the death-like circumstances also. This is the savior chart also. Whenever even if you are going to do Vedic astrology, over the passage of time you will understand that part. The negative part, which I'm not right now discussing with you. But there are many sufferings also in this universe. Okay. So if you are fortunate, first of all, I pray to God to God bless you everything. But there are a lot of sufferings also. And let's not try to run away from that negative part of Vedic astrology also. I'm not asking you to immediately give some predictions, because at the time of giving prediction to someone, you also need to study their chart first. Look into their chart, their strength of ascendant, planet mood, look at their age also, level of maturity which is present inside the person. Only then try to give the predictions, so that at least other person can also capable enough to handle that information. So in the old ages, I'm telling you, Bhava chart is actually utilized by the Rajas, even the Rishi Munis also, when they are going to have their own babies, they're born actually. So the first thing, they go to the ancient astrologer, and the very first prediction, I will tell you, very first prediction the old saint is going to do is regarding the time tenure, how long the baby is going to live. Even nowadays, even if you visit any ancient astrologers, the very first prediction, they are going to pick their chart, and they first of all going to look into your longevity. Span, that is the ayush of a person, how long you are going to live. And the very first prediction, they are going to give that part. So how come that in the ancient times, if they are giving that prediction, like, okay, you are going to live around maybe 85. I'm not asking you to give exact number, but at least approximation 80, 85, 90, 95. So that Bhava Chalit chart will have that capacity to look into that circumstances also. Okay, so you can use it from the positive and from the negative perspectives also. It also depends over the level of maturity which is present inside you. Vedic astrology is not, it's not an easy subject actually. It's a bit difficult. If you are dealing with other people karma, you also need to follow some spiritual something related to spirituality you need to follow. It may be chanting of mantras, opt a very sattvic lifestyle, okay, pure sattvic. Because in order to give prediction, first of all, you need to keep yourself mentally very free. It's not like that astrologer is attached with the many problems in his own personal life. That astrologer will not be able to give that precise, and that is where spending time alone with your own thoughts, with your own emotions is very important if you want to learn or become a good astrologer. Because if you are spending some time alone with your own thoughts, your emotions, in this way you will be able to know yourself. Because by continuously looking into the astrology charts and this kind of a thing, this thing become heavy, and in order to remove that heaviness you need to take the support of some supreme energy. It may be Lord Vishnu. You see that Lakshmi Narayan behind me. So actually in my old videos also you will see Ma Lakshmi sitting on the lotus feet of Vishnu. Actually I've also painted one here, you can see. That is a Sheshnag where Lord Vishnu actually sleeps also. You can see up there. So that is Lord Jagannath also. So these are the supreme deities in Vedic astrology, and I also pray to them actually, because this will give you that sort of picturization memory, that sort of predictive ability where your predictions have the capacity to become true. This is Saraswati Yoga. Even if you don't know anything regarding astrology, but you are having Saraswati inside you, so Saraswati have the capacity to make your words true. You are going to bless someone, that becomes true. You curse someone, that becomes true. I've discussed that part in the Venus and Ketu conjunction actually. You can please watch that video. It's a very important thing to understand how curses and these things works actually. Okay, retrograde, Jupiter, Venus, Jupiter, Sun, Mercury, retrograde, Jupiter, retro. I'm not right now here discussing over the retrograde. I'm an astrologer. I'm very happy you discussed about that part. Oh wow, thank you so much actually. I would also personally thank all of you who are giving me the support and that sort of opportunity to have this wonderful chit chat with you. Okay, Rahu Venus in the second house become Rahu Mars in the Chalit chart. You see how the big shift is happening. Okay, amazing sir, thank you. Namaskar. If the Parivartan Yoga is between the 4th and 5th, okay, will it be effect or exact prediction? I will tell you, yes, the predictions are going to be there. But in order to understand, okay, if the Parivartan Yoga is happening between the 5th, 4th and the 5th house, activation of the house is very important. Rather than looking into Dasha, I understand Dashas are important, house activation is important. If you are around the age of 30, 35, so 5th house is the house of Vedic astrology, represents the children and the childbirth part also. So childbirth have the capacity to activate that Parivartan Yoga which is happening between 4th and 5th. Even the 4th house is the house of mother. So the event of mother's death also have the capacity to activate certain Raj Yogas in Vedic astrology. We need to study that part also. The event of death of someone have the capacity to trigger something in Vedic astrology. Now don't take it into a much negative side. Once again, I'm requesting you. Okay. But still these things are applicable. Some karmic connectivity is going to be suppose present between you and some other person. Okay. Maybe father, mother, anyone. So as soon as the event of death is actually triggering in their life, So if something is leaving, some new energy is also going to be adding into your life. So Vedic astrology work into that way also. You see how deep the predictions will go? Like the event of death of someone is going to trigger this event into your life. That is also the part of Vedic astrology. But nowadays, many people don't practice it actually because of the negative influence that have the capacity to leave it over the mind of someone actually. Okay. Okay, I saw some videos with your father also. Okay. Okay, yeah, that girl have mentioned actually. Event of that mother's death have actually triggered the event of a car purchase, and father's death have actually created. Let me go back. Okay. Okay. I saw one video how death of mother activate a car purchase. Yes, I will tell you these yogas. Okay, we have the capacity to move into the chat also. It's also very good. See, in that way, you can actually look into the more deeper predictions. Okay. So thank you so much for this today's interactive session with me. Thank you so much for this valuable support. Thank you so much even for sending me super thanks also. I believe I'm the astrologer. You can watch any of my videos. You will find 1 to 2 super thanks over all the videos actually. I will tell you, I also watch certain YouTubers, certain content creators also. I will tell you whenever I'm sending super thanks to someone, so I'm giving it from the heart actually. It means I find something here which I've never found anywhere else. So you can also send me super thanks if you find something here. And thank you so much once again for this opportunity. It's because of your blessings actually. And please do subscribe my channel. Just keep the thing rolling so that we can reach up to the 50,000 subscriber mark. Okay. So thank you so much once again. And I'm going to meet you very, very soon with some new interactive live sessions. You can suggest me in the comment section actually which topic you want to discuss. I'm discussing that topics which I believe no videos have ever made over the YouTube. So it's better to cover that topics also. Okay. Okay. So please take care, and I'm going to meet you very, very soon. You are the top 5 profound astrologers. See, I'm also just like every one of you. I'm not considered myself as a master of Vedic astrology. I'm also a student of this Jyotish. Okay, just like every student have the curiosity to know Jyotish, I'm also one of the most curious student. So I am that much curious in Vedic astrology. By wake up early in the morning, the first thing I do is to look into the transit actually, look into planets, study their behavior. Wherever I go, walk, talk, Vedic astrology is running with me. So I'm that much indulged into that subject. It's just like an obsession working right now. Okay. So thank you so much, and may God bless all of you. Till then, please take care of yourself, and Hare Krishna. Okay.